We acknowledge and we are grateful that the work of our DPAC and our PACs takes place on the traditional and unceded territories of the Halkomen-speaking people of the Katzie First Nation and Kwantlen First Nation. We also recognize all of our First Nation, Charter Métis, Inuit students and their families in our school communities. We are committed to the ongoing process of reconciliation. September 30th marked Orange Shirt Day and National Truth and Reconciliation Day, but it is year-round ongoing endeavor to commit to truth and reconciliation. This is the agenda. It was sent out earlier. Can we have a mover to accept the agenda? Paulina, and a seconder? Glenwood? Launch the poll. Okay, motion carried. And can we get a mover for the approval of the June 16th minutes? They weren't quite ready in time for our last meeting. Paulina, and a seconder, Katie. And launch the poll. And motion carried. And a mover to accept the the September 14th minutes. Glenwood, and a seconder, Katie. And launch the poll.
Sorry, technical issue, 1 sec.
No problem. Okay, motion carried. All right, my name is Trish Kopp, and I am the current chair of the DPAC for the 2022-2023 school year. And we are going to pass this over to Harry Dillon for our superintendent update.
Thanks, Trish, and good evening, everyone. This evening, I'll speak to our partnership with Simon Fraser University with their teacher education program and the benefits to enhancing this relationship within our provincial context of demand outstripping the supply of certified teachers. I'll also suggest that there may be a role for PAC presidents or PAC representatives to play with welcoming student teachers to your school community and with recognizing the teachers who host and supervise practicum students. The significance of our relationship with SFU not only is longstanding, but it's nicely illustrated by what played out in the fall of 2021. In the fall of 2021, 42 student teachers were hosted by SD42 teachers for their final practicum. In December 2021, those 42 teachers finished the requirements for teacher certification, and we ended up hiring 32 of those 42 teachers. This fall, we have a total of 41 student teachers from SFU being hosted and supervised by SD42 teachers while they complete their final practicum for certification. As we did last year, our goal will be to hire as many as we can from this cohort. We're also hosting 60 students from SFU over the week of November 1st to 4th as part of their PDP 400 program, which is the start of their teacher training program. It's our hope that their experience over that week results in a good portion of them requesting a practicum placement in SD42 for their 401, 402, and 405 practicum placements. So as PAC representatives, you may want to consider touching base with the principal at your school to see if there are any student teacher placements currently at the school. And you may want to consider something as simple as a card to welcome the student teacher to your school community, as well as a card of recognition and thanks to the sponsoring teacher for their contribution to the teaching profession. I think that both such gestures would be very well received, and we will certainly, as a school district, continue to enhance our relationship with SFU, with their teacher training program, and continue our efforts to enhance our relationship with UFV, UBC, and other provincial institutions that are charged with teacher education programs. And certainly connected to our need for more teachers and to invest in the work that goes into that. Next month, I'll be joined by Secretary Treasurer Coughlin, and we'll do a presentation on student enrollment trends and capital planning and provincial funding for capital projects in the school district. And Trish, that's my report for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harry. Does anyone have any questions for Superintendent? I don't see any. Thank you so much for that report, Harry. And we're now going to pass over the meeting to Kim Dumore for our trustee update.
Ooh, this fancy little pop-up just showed up. I've never seen that before. I have to give you a little warning. My dog is deciding to bark right now. So if you get that background, his name's Gus. He has a tendency to make cameos in meetings. So that's a COVID thing, right? You can bring your dog to work. It's fabulous. So thank you for having me this evening. I expected Superintendent Dillon to talk longer, actually. This is making some notes feverishly, stepping in for Corleen tonight. Just a few things that we wanted to mention. We had a fabulous tour today as candidates for the upcoming election with Thomas Haney's students. They toured us around the school, asked some courageous conversation starting questions of the candidates that attended. And they were super excited and stoked to be involved in the process. So that information translates home to parents. And so maybe some of you had the opportunity to speak to your young people this evening and hear their feedback from the tour today. But hats off to Thomas Haney for inviting all the candidates to attend, and maybe next time there'll be more opportunities like that. That'd be great. Just a couple things to touch on. We had a quick little special board meeting today with regards to two items. Our Student and Family Affordability Fund, which Deputy Superintendent Durinzi spoke to the DPAC about, I believe, at the last meeting, and did the input with the DPAC members to inquire about some of the gaps in the system as it pertains to food security and supporting young our students with various different opportunities for funding. We received just under $1.6 million to be spent by next June. So it's a tall task. I think we're up for the challenge, and there's some exciting things that are coming down the pike from the consultation and engagement process that happened very quickly within the school district, but we had to do it quickly in order to spend the money. And so it's very exciting. The package is online from today's meeting if you want to have a look at that. And then there was a budget amendment with regards to our Aboriginal Education Department that is funding that has to be used purposeful in its own intention, and some augments to some staffing there, which is fabulous for our district. Lastly, I would just follow up on our tour with Thomas Haney today. I had the privilege of going to vote with my daughter this afternoon. Yay! And what a joy that is to, I get emotional, but I always get emotional to be able to go and bring your young person up and do all the things that we do in schools and watch the municipal politics process happen and unroll, and take your young person and go vote with them today. I don't know how she voted. She did her own thing. Hopefully she voted for me. We'll see. Whatever. We'll see what happens. But please get out there and vote. That's the most important thing you can do this week, in my mind. Well, giving blood's important to do, and I'm doing that on Friday. So thank you so much for having me, and hopefully I get to see you again in November. Take care.
Thanks, Kim. Does anyone have any questions for Kim regarding her update? I don't see any, so we'll move along. We do have in our slide here the list of all of the trustees that are running, or candidates for the trustee position that are running this year for the municipal election. And all of that information can be found on the Maple Ridge website as well. Okay, we're going to move over to the MRTA. So I look for, there she is. Sorry, Leanna, I couldn't find you.
Hi, everyone. I'm just filling in for Trevor Takasaki tonight. My name's Leanne Dunbar, and I'm the health and safety representative on the Maple Ridge Teachers Association. So in speaking with Trevor, he asked me to just talk about a couple of issues that you might be aware of from your children in terms of the startup this fall, and to just convey how much teachers appreciate your support and understanding as we sort of get through what can be sometimes the tricky month of September and into October. And so the points we were anticipating more of a sort of a return to normal this year from sort of the COVID years. However, several factors in conjunction with each other are really stretching some teachers in schools. And you can speak to your individual PACs in terms of parents just having some understanding about what might be happening at your child's specific school. As Harry spoke about, there is a province-wide teacher shortage that we're definitely feeling the effects of in Maple Ridge. And as Harry's talked about student teachers, a lot of teachers in the district have taken on student teachers specifically to help with this shortage, because we're hoping that they'll then work in our district. But what those shortages mean for teachers in classrooms is that there's not enough teachers on call to cover absences occasionally. So teachers, non-enrolling teachers such as support teachers or teacher librarians or administrators, they do a rotation to fill in. And so what can happen is that can really stretch sort of the school in terms of being able to meet all of the students' needs, because people are being pulled from their regular job to cover classrooms when we don't have enough teachers. So that's sort of an ongoing stressor. And so I really appreciated actually hearing what Harry had to say about ways that we can really encourage student teachers when they come to our district, and then encourage them to work here, because we're in the middle of a whole bunch of other districts and everybody is vying for those teachers. And then the second thing that teachers are really feeling that might be different from normal in terms of startup is we're really feeling sort of the effects of COVID on our incoming kindergarten students, and not just kindergarten students, but other students, in terms of the kindergarten readiness. They haven't had the same pre-kindergarten experiences that students normally have before they come to us in kindergarten. So they're not understandably as ready for kindergarten. And they also haven't, sometimes students with needs haven't had those earlier interventions that they haven't had those earlier interventions that they would normally have before they come to kindergarten. And so there's a lot of additional stressors, I think, being put on schools just to really welcome these students in and be able to meet their needs where they're at. And so I just wanted to say, I think the message is that these are things that we're working through, and we just really appreciate the support of parents and understanding sort of what's happening in the background at schools. I think that's everything for me, if anybody has any questions.
I don't see anyone with their hand raised. Thank you so much, Leanna, for your update. That was great to know that teachers, I think, are hopefully starting to feel some relief with the COVID stressors, hopefully. Okay, moving on to QP. I don't know if we have anyone here from QP. Nope, not from QP tonight. Maple Ridge principals and vice principals. Nope, I don't see anybody there. So we will move on to Paulina for our treasurer's report.
Hello, everyone. Our gaming account as of September 30th, 2022 sits at $6,193.36. Our general account at $4,740.15 for a total of $10,933.51. Everybody that applied for their gaming grant should have gotten it in early October. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulina. Okay. So moving into our old business, we are still short a recording secretary. If there is anybody who might be interested in taking on that position, our meetings are recorded, so it does make it a little bit easier to take notes. You can participate in the meeting and do the notes later. We do meetings once a month. So if anybody knows of somebody who might be interested in the position, maybe just send them DPAC's direction. It would be greatly appreciated. All right, so I'm going to move on to our future business, new business, which is the meeting locations of future DPAC meetings. We wanted to get everybody's input, DPAC reps and anybody else who's on the call today, whether you would like to continue meeting virtually, whether you want to start moving to in-person meetings, whether you want to do hybrid meetings. So we're going to launch a poll just to kind of get some feedback on where everybody's at with what we would like to do with our meetings moving forward. That looks like it's pretty split between Zoom and hybrid. Okay. All right. So we will move on to the next item, which is a discussion that our PAC exec or our DPAC exec had about cross-pollinating each individual school's fundraising efforts by sharing your fundraisers on our DPAC Facebook page. So if you have something that you guys are doing to raise money, tell us what you're raising money for, how you're doing it, and we will help try and generate some interest in your fundraisers for you. And okay, and then there was 2 items of interest. So the grade 8 registration will be virtual this year. It will be held on January 26th at 7 p.m. There will be more details to follow and links for the online session. The kindergarten registration will also be virtual, and that will be held December 1st at 7 p.m. And again, details will be sent out later. Information to share. TransLink offers workshops for elementary school children in grades 6 and 7 to teach them how to take transit. They show up with a transit bus, walk them through it, give them a tour, explain to them how to read their schedules, how to get on and off the bus, and just general basic knowledge about how to use transit. So we do have the contact information for Karen Helix and her email there at TransLink to get that set up for any school that is interested in doing that. Remember to vote. Voting is important. We've got the dates for Thursday and Saturday on here, as well as locations and addresses, which will be sent out later. And then we had a couple of fundraisers that came through to the DPAC email that we will share with you. One is safety reflectors for schools, that clip-ons that you put on your backpacks. There's contact information and a website there, as well as Nelly Clean, which is plant-friendly cleaning products, if anyone is interested in that. And then before I go into the last item, does anybody have anything they would like to share or comments, questions, concerns, anything special happening at your schools? Kim?
I don't have a school, but I have a foundry. And so can I just mention something that's happening at the foundry? This week on the 19th, first ever hip hop, beatbox, lyrical music jam is happening at Foundry. And it's going there. We only have 30 spaces available for young people. This is the first time we're trying it, but it's really an opportunity for young people to come and test their skills. All of the artists that are performing all have stories of mental health challenges and are professional educators in mental health and wellness. And if you have a young person who might be wondering if hip hop or anything of that nature is their jam, then they should absolutely take a look at Foundry Social. We've been promoting the artists and everything through our social media daily. And it's there's artistic opportunities, breakout sessions, safe spaces for young people to take a break if they need it. And so they do have to pre-register in advance. And shameless plug, I have invited SD42 staff to attend to check it out to see if it might be appropriate for our school district. Anyways, if you do have a young person that might be interested, please check out our social media and send them our way, because I do believe we still have some spots left. So thanks.
Thanks, Kim. I think Paulina, you had something you'd like to share?
Yeah, doesn't Yenneton have a bingo night coming up, Amanda?
25th of November. I think tickets will be on sale. I think it's 24th or 25th of October. So happy to have others come out. You can always get in touch with, if you're interested or learning more, at unitedpac@gmail.com. Because I know that we'll be pushing out some on how get tickets. So I think there's also a Christmas.
I think we lost you, Amanda. Can't hear you.
Right, Katie, did you want to talk to the Christmas fair? Or
I just shared it to our Facebook page. It's at Highland Park on, is anyone here from Highland Park? November 25th from 4 till 8 at the school.
Perfect. Anybody else? No? Okay. So I'm going to take off my DPAC chair hat here for a minute and put on my Christmas Festival president hat. Some of you may know that there is a Santa Claus parade and Christmas in the park that happens on the first Saturday in December every year. We have not been able to have it the past 2 years because of COVID. As a result of that, we have lost several of our committee members that help plan this parade. It is all done by volunteers. None of us are paid. This is all done with fundraised money and sponsorships. And we are looking for volunteers. If there are any students in high school that would like to volunteer, any parents that would like to come and help for the day, anyone who wants to join our committee, it would be greatly appreciated. It is a huge undertaking with traffic control, shutting down streets, collaborating with the city and other groups. We have the ACT, the library, the downtown BIA, and we collaborate all together to put on this amazing event that draws about 15,000 people. So if anyone wants to help, get in touch with myself and we will definitely put you to work. All right, does anyone have anything else that they would like to share?
Hi, this is Ramya from Wanak Elementary. We have a Boohoo event coming up on October 24th. It's something we are putting together after COVID in the past couple of years. This is for Halloween, happening on October 24th, 5 to 9. I can send the link about the event and everything, but it's really fun for kids. PAC is putting a lot of effort. It's a fundraising as well for us. The school is decorated and there is a golden cash and costume contest and all that fun stuff. If any of you would like to join and check out with kids, it'll be a very fun event. I'll send out the link to Trish, maybe can be added to the minutes so that you guys can check it out.
For sure.
Everybody's welcome to join the Halloween fun.
Excellent. And if anybody has anything that they want to share and you've got a poster or a little write-up, just send it into the Gmail account for SD42 DPAC, and we will get Katie to put that up on our Facebook page. All right, so our next meeting is going to be November 9th, and we'll be having Secretary Treasurer Flavia Coughlin with a presentation on the capital planning. So do keep that in mind and mark your calendar. That is a very important presentation. And unless anybody else has anything to share, we will let everyone get back to their evening. Have a nice short meeting this time.
I think BME has a quick question there.
The best way to get in touch with gaming is to email them. Paulina can get you the gaming email. If you can email that to BME. Thank you, Paulina. Okay. And I don't see any other questions, so we will launch the motion to adjourn. Do we have a mover? We got MRSS and Paulina second, and launch the poll. All right, motion carried. All right, thanks so much, guys. Have a great evening.
Yeah.